Peter.
Yep.
It's 54 degrees here in Lawrence, New York.
Cold.
It's cold. Shiver me timbers.
It's time for some baseboard. Urgh. And just in case you're wondering, 2 8-footers, 2 7-footers. Let's get the day rolling. Clap your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Clap your hands.
Timer flash 7 times.
BTU system.
You ain't testing, you're guessing. All right, today, ladies and gentlemen, today is Wednesday, September 27th, 2023. We have multiple rooms. Whole house is under renovation, but multiple rooms getting Slant Fin number 30 Hydronic baseboard. First thing we're gonna do is lay out now. Here is one of 6 rooms. So I have 18 feet. I got 3 6-footers. Here I have 2 6s, totaling a 12, and I got an 8 running across there to replace that cast iron baseboard. We're gonna piggyback back around to pick up that room and head back to the supply and the orbit. Right here, I have 9 feet, so I have a 4 and a 5. I got 7 feet from left to right, so that's getting a Slant Fin number 30 7-footer. I got 13 feet from left to right. That's getting a 6 and a 7. And right here, we're getting an 8. So using the 8 with the left end cap. And last but not least, 2 8s, totaling 16 feet against this back wall of the master bedroom. Hi, Mike. People have been asking where you been at. He's right there. He's hiding. All right, so that's the project for today. In case you're wondering, they always ask, Mikey Pipes, what did it cost? Or what does a job cost? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't talk about pricing on this channel. Sometimes I let it slip and it just comes out naturally. But the primary reason is because every geographic area, every demographic is different. So what we charge here in the New York metropolitan market is different, for example, 15 miles away in Manhattan. It's also different than Indiana or the Middle America. That's why. But I will entertain you this. The cost of material here is over $2,000, American dollars. And that's with inflation. Thanks, Joe Biden. Now I know what you're saying. Mikey Pipes, don't talk about politics here. It's not the proper venue. You're right. However, under our previous administration, it didn't cost me $120 of diesel to fill up each of my Mercedes Sprinter cargo vans. Just saying. Just saying. Let's get the show on the road. All right, we're starting with the first room. Me and Peter working on. The other Mike is working on the original master bedroom. I have 3 6s opened here. I got to cut back a little bit. I'm going to cut back probably in the middle right there because it's going to be hidden by the covers, the coupling pieces. Most sizes include those coupling pieces. A little bit of an observation. I prefer the old style where this piece was one, the top was another, and you had a little coupling for the middle piece right there. By the way, the purpose of this, if I keep that closed, right, I am going to stop natural convection. Natural convection would be, picture a cover right here. I have the cooler air running across the floor from the bottom of the heating elements rising through and up the top. You'll have natural convection this way, right? If I close the cover, right, that little louver, my baseboard will still be hot, but I'm going to stop convection. The same applies if you put your carpeting smack up to the bottom here and you block off the airflow going into the bottom, you're going to get the same effect. Let me show you an example of blocking that convection. Take a look at this baseboard here. This is cast iron baseboard. We have a lot of feet of it, right? Our carpeting is smack up against the bottom, so we're not allowing for convection to the cooler air to run across the floor and up and then out. All right, so today we're going to keep it uncut, unedited, raw. Since we don't know what's going on this floor, I'm raising up the back portion of the the baseboard. Duh. Brain fart. I'm raising up the back part of the baseboard by 3/4 of an inch. I'm just using the filters that I've seen throughout the house. I normally like to use a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch regular copper coupling, but this will be perfect. Raising it up a couple, that 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch. Now we're going to put some screws in, making sure that the baseboard is level with the torpedo, and we got a screw right there. We should have one at the end and every 16 on center. Is it 16 on center or 18 on center? I don't know. You know what? Where's the tape measure? See. Nope, 16 on center. See, 16, keep going. 32, right? 48, 64. See? Tape measure, it tells you where it needs to go. The studs on center. All right, so we started to assemble this 18-foot section. I'm piggybacking with 3/4 inch M. I got 2 streets right there. I can also use a regular 3/4 90 and a street 90 to connect to that, but I used my swedged end there. If you notice, we don't need couplings. One end is swedged already. Peter took a measurement from about 3/4 of an inch inserted into that pipe there to roughly right to the right of that last bracket. We're going to take off those fins. How far do you have to go? Let me show you an easier way. Hold that for a second. Where are you going to? Like this. Right here. Right there? Okay. So let's go a little bit past that. And I'm going to snip these off. And keep in mind that the tubing is very soft and also very thin. You know, when pipes freeze, it's always the baseboard, hydronic baseboard, that always splits first. So keep that in mind as you're cutting. You don't want to like dig into the copper. So now that I cut off all those, I'm just going to grab that, twist off. It should twist off. Now it's going to make a fool of me. Come on, baby. Get in there. If you do this enough times over your career, you're gonna find you're gonna have a bunch of these little fins in your solder box because that's usually where the scrap pieces end up. Come on, baby. Okay, so there you have it. Did it save a little bit of time? A little bit, but you're less likely to damage the tube, okay? So now we are going to, there's our swedged end. Let's just take a quick little measurement where we want to cut. I want to end up right there. Let's get that tubing cutter, which is right here. I don't know if it's been a while since I did baseboard, but let's see if this will cut through this thin wall tubing. It sure does. And we'll get a piece of scratchy paper, emery paper, to clean this end. We'll clean this end, and we'll clean the swedged inside right there, and flux it all together. 9:07. Are you looking what I'm looking at? There's an old saying. We plan, and God laughs at us. I planned on putting a 6-footer, a 6-footer, and a 6-footer in this room, piggybacking to reach into the other room. Well, guess what? The distance between this wall and that outside wall is different than the distance between this wall and that wall. Which means when I drilled that pilot hole 4.5 inches above the unfinished floor and 1.5 inches from the wall right there, you know where that put me? If you guessed right outside this wall, you guessed right. And I guess I got lucky because it's a wall without any siding on it. And the line sets, which are abandoned to old central air systems, and we're not the ones doing the job because my jobs don't look like that mess right there. Come on. Well, who leaves a mess like that? One of the benefits when you hire a pipe doctor for your central air conditioning install or replacement is that your home and your neighbors don't even know they're getting new air conditioning. Why? Because we don't make a mess, we don't leave a mess, and we clean up after ourselves while we're doing the job. All right, now that I got all that out of the way, the objective now, Peter, is that I need to take this, right, and put that through the wall. We're gonna use the shop vac, and I'm gonna use my automatic tubing cutter. We're gonna cut that pipe And actually, you know what, Peter? You know what, Peter? Let me get the torch and the striker. I haven't recorded much. It is 11:40. Sorry, 11:37. Keeping it uncut, unedited, and raw. Well, let me show you what we got done so far. All right.
Here's what I found.
Shut up, Siri. We're all connected there. Don't worry about that for right now. Room number 2. Piggybacking from that back room across to the existing copper coming out. It's supply installed baseboard, doesn't say re-rough. Here is room number 3 that we're on. Connected there. Peter's trimming down this section of elements. We're gonna connect to that PEX. The master bedroom. Mike initially forgot to install the stiffeners by Webstone, so we had to add those back in there, there, and there. So this, what normally would take, I'd say about 45 minutes, if that, solo. 2 hours, 15 minutes, solo, is what it is. Now we know it was about stiffeners in Slant Fin number 30. And this piece right here. So the original cast iron went into the molding of the closet door. We're outside and cap right there. We're back in the 3rd bedroom that me and Peter are working on. We're cleaning the ends of the copper, 3/4 copper on the end of this element. We're gonna clean up that swedged side and we're gonna cut this back.
This side isn't swedged.
Which side? That side's swedged.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about the one I was holding.
Oh yeah, that's swedged.
My bad.
It's all good.
Good.
So we'll sweat this in and then connect to the PEX. All right, well, Peter has some experience brazing. He has very little experience soldering. So we want the tip of that lighter blue flame to be touching the copper. Okay, go. Okay. Little flame away. Do it again. Okay. Get the top up again. Heat it up a little bit, and then hit it with the solder. Go. All right, yeah. Let it be. Lefty, loosey, righty, tighty, Peter. Come on. You should know that by now. It should be second nature. I'm not trying to bust your chops, but you should know that already.
Yeah, but in my head it's not.
I know, but you have to know that. It's like, it should be second nature already. Lefty, loosey, righty, tighty. It doesn't matter if it's a wrench, a nipple, an adapter going into a pipe, coming out of a pipe, or a valve opening, closing. The only thing that's different with lefty, loosey, righty, tighty is a toilet tank lever. That's the only time it's different. It's lefty, tighty, righty, loosey.
Yeah, it's just in my head, right didn't mean...
I know.
It turned it off.
Okay.
I've never...
All right, we need the wet rag, and let's clean off the floor. All right, so Peter and I are on the 4th bedroom upstairs. Is it the 4th? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. One more bedroom upstairs to go. Yes, this house has 5 bedrooms on the top floor, 3 bedrooms on the 3rd floor. The 2nd floor, we'll call that the main floor. It's the living room, dining room, kitchen. And then lower level, which is ground floor, we have the garage, a den, the boiler room, and another bedroom. So that equals 9-bedroom house in Lawrence, New York. House values are not based on property size. It helps to have a large property, but it is also based on bedrooms. So this house is well over $3.5 million. And the taxes aren't that bad, maybe in the 20s, low 20s. All right, spin it around. There you go. Now you gotta cut that. You wanna probably go on the other side. Yeah, you wanna go from there, make it easier for yourself. And the snips would probably be easier for you. Would you like the snips?
Yeah.
All right, so we have the snips. Let's see, watch him cut it. There we go. I gotta tell you, it's been a while since I installed Slant Fin baseboard. But the screws, you know, sheetrock screws that we use to secure it to the wall used to go in easier. The couplings that come with this used to be nicer. These used to not be so flimsy, and look at this, they move around very easily. And yes, I'm wearing a pair of sneakers today, on cloud or on road, whatever they're called. They're very comfortable. I stepped in a pile of poo in my Brunt sneakers, and I decided, you know, my Brunt sneakers, which are very comfortable, they just don't last. They don't. And even though Brunt sponsored the channel a couple of videos, I'm keeping it real. Is there a warranty? Peter just asked off camera while I was about to flipping it around. So I gotta tell you, Stoley, the devil, he, when he was younger, like a little baby puppy, he used to eat the insoles of whatever shoes were being worn in the home. Only if they were pre-worn shoes. So if they were brand new shoes, like just sitting on the floor, he wasn't touching them. But used sneakers, shoes, whatever it is, he would eat the insoles. So my Uggs, right? My Gucci flip-flops, he would take them. Sneakers, the insoles. So is there a warranty with Brunt? Let me tell you something. I told them, I emailed them, that my dog ate the insole. What do? They sent me a new insole.
It's not bad.
If I told them that my dog ate the sneakers, they probably wouldn't give me a new pair.
I bet they would.
I don't know. But they're very comfortable. They don't last. And people are telling me who own a pair of Brunts, whether it's the boots or the sneakers, they fall apart after like 6-8 months. And it's a shame. $100+ for a pair of, you know, workwear, footwear. No bueno. No bueno. All right. 12:30. I just ordered lunch for all of us. We're doing wall to wall without the end caps. It looks nice and neater, in my opinion. Our stub outs, we have some flexibility in the piping there, so we're just going to throw in a 3/4 by 1/2 inch coupling there. Over there, I don't have any flexibility in the piping, so we're going to roll 245s up and then come across with 3/4 and put our element in there. And I think it's going to look really nice when we're done. I think this one will probably be the nicest looking one. Not that looks matter, because we're not getting paid for looks. We're getting paid for having nice, neat, and organized baseboard heating to replace these cast iron baseboards that were. Right. So I didn't really show much in the video. So there's our 3/4 by 1/2 inch reducing coupling there. We have enough play in here where I can raise this up so it'll meet my 4.5 inches off of the unfinished floor. There I rolled a 45 and a street 45 going to a 3/4 by 1/2 inch reducing coupling. And from here to there, I have 60 inches. Peter is preparing this element, 60 inches in length. And he's got a mark right there. He's gonna mark his center. I would take off from here to there. Because if we need to access, I don't know if the system is a monoflow system or not. The homeowner doesn't know. We never even brought it up in discussion. But if it's a monoflow system, I want to have a little bit of wiggle room to add in some T's for bleeding purposes. And we're not putting normal bleeder T's on here. It would be a running T, where coming out of the top, we can have an air valve or an automatic air vent. Now we're taking those snips, like I showed him earlier today, and cutting those fins off. You can do 2 or 3 at a time. And then you use a pair of, I guess you want to call those channel locks, even though those are by Nipix. And then pull off the fins that we don't need. And then we'll cut exactly at 60 inches of length, developed length from end to end. All right, so we've cut those off. I put a little line there and I put a little X. I have a habit. I make a mark of my measurement, and X represents the scrap that I'm not going to use. Just in case I get, like they're both similar sizes and you lose your head for a second. At least you'll know which side is the scrap side. So Webstone, and if I'm wrong, and it's Vega makes these, I'm wrong, but this is a stiffener, and it goes inside the pipe like this, and this is not going to go in easy, is it? Look at that. Look at that. So what this allows is when the fitting, which is over there, is inserted over the very thin copper tubing on this slant fin baseboard, and I press that in, that's gonna help it not leak. Good? Good. Guys, you have to protect your constitutional rights. Yesterday, I called the Village of Valley Stream because a manhole was exposed down the block from our old office. I called the Village of Valley Stream Highway Department. A gentleman picks up the phone, all right, and I proceed to tell him what's going on in a calm, demeanor. I'm like, not screaming, yelling at him, not like I fell into the manhole screaming and yelling at him, right? But I call him, listen, the manhole is broken again, because it broke, right? On the corner of East Hawthorne and Saturday Avenue in the Village of Valley Stream. And the county put a metal plate on the road, which slid over. So now it's like a half moon crescent, which is exposed, and you can actually fall in there. And plus it stinks because it's a sewer manhole. So I called, it smells. You smelled it yesterday, I'm sure. I called the village highway department. The guy gets on the phone. Not my responsibility. You got to call the county. I was like, whoa, hold on. Like, I'm just making you aware. Like, you probably have a faster response time than the Nassau County. I was like, but why are you screaming and yelling at me? It's like, matter of fact, what is your name? I don't have to tell you my name. I was like, you don't tell me your name. Like, you're a government employee. I'm a citizen. I'm calling you in a government capacity. You're not going to tell me your name? Like, you don't want to go down this road, sir. Yeah. And he goes, I'm not telling you my name. I was like, well, then I guess you're going to get schooled, reprimanded, or even fired. I was like, how about I give you a beating? I'm like, oh, now you want to threaten me, right? And then he hung up the phone. Well, the first call I did, I called back, right, on the office line. And he picks up the phone again, and he hung up on me. Then I called the village, the mayor's helpline. And today I just got a phone call back from the head of the Department of Public Works, who basically gave me his first name, not telling me his last name. I'm just the head of the Department of Public Works, and it's not our responsibility, but we did call the county yesterday, and I'm told they fixed it. If Long Island Audit, by the way, he's a First Amendmenter, right away. I love these guys, by the way. I love them. He doesn't, overstep the boundaries. He's just peacefully doing, journalism work, doing constitutionally protected activities. He walks into town and village halls and police departments, and he wants to do a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act request. And sometimes, not all the time, sometimes everything goes well because the government employees know your rights and knows what they're obligated to do. But unfortunately, more times than not, he gets arrested. But he also has multiple lawsuits against multiple government agencies, and the guy's smart in helping protect our rights. And that's what it's all about. We got to protect our rights. Otherwise, they're going to walk all over us. And you think you're free in America? You're sadly mistaken. All right. Peter? I sound like Mike G for a little bit, didn't I?
Politics?
Probably. All right, so we're going to put this end in there. We're going to mark that. Where's the Sharpie? There's our Sharpie. Got it right here. We're going to mark that right there so we know it's fully inserted. See? Fully inserted. Okay? I'm going to mark my street 45 going into that reducing coupling right there. And just make sure I mark that as well. Now, we are going to, you have to lift that up. We're going to slide this in. It's like I'm going to slide into your girl's DM. By the way, how's your girlfriend doing?
I don't have a girlfriend.
She's still not a girlfriend?
Nope.
Okay, mark that.
Okay.
All right, and mark that both ends. Mark the other end. I want to pull that out and make sure that we're fully inserted. Yep, looks like we're all in. Good. Okay. Now, let's go back into here. Will it cooperate? Probably not. Come on, baby.
So close.
Oh, you mother effer you. Oh, you mother effer you. All right, so that needs to go in there. Will it cooperate? Probably not. Let's see, can we get it in this way? Oh, man. I don't know, Peter. Sometimes we're too perfect in size. Maybe, just maybe. Let's see. I gotta try to turn that. Let's
Yeah, here we go. Channel locks. This is not going to end well, Peter. You know that, right? This is not going to end well for us.
I see.
Here, Faith? Okay, thank you. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. All right, and the only thing missing a mark is that 45 right there, but I think we're good. That's there. Are we too far in that way?
We look fine right here.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's press these in here. And then hopefully we're good to go. All right. 1:35. We had some holy schnitzel. And of course, the filling that the dentist did for me yesterday night fell out of my tooth, and now I'm frustrated. Is what it is. But we are cleaning up. Peter's making a list of all the material that we used. Oh, Peter, don't put away the solder box stuff. It's bad. It's bad luck, in case you didn't know that. Okay, good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Mike's working on the 5th. We did a convector in here. Let me show you the convector. There's a convector. The wider size in length is special order, and it needed to get done like now instead of like 2 months from now. And the reason why there's a hole right there going to the outside of the house is because some jack munch decided to run the coaxial cable for the cable TV through the baseboard. Yeah, you can't make this. There's this and the one over there. $245. Okay, that's better. Okay. 1, 2. Numero dos. 3. Trace. 4. 4. By the way, we had a major leak right here, so I had to use a coupling, press 90, and another coupling with the stiffeners on both ends. I hit it up 3 times with the torch, still kept leaking. 5. We made lemonade out of lemons. I drilled that there and I was outside, but I need to come out almost 4 feet this way to get into that other room. There's number 5. There's number 6. She's nice. She works. 7. And 8. Beautiful. And let me just show you the sad state of the boiler. The boiler. It's a Penco, and the homeowner has been tinkering around with it. I believe he just installed that, the Calefi 2, 4, 6, 8 zone manifold with independent zone actuators on each. It looks amateurish, you know, it's just keeping it real, right? He could have cut down the wiring to the zone actuators. You know, you could easily cut them down. There's only 4 wires there. They're all color coordinated. We have gray, black, blue, and brown. Here's the zone, the near boiler piping. We have 1.25 inch coming out, and we have 1.25 inch going to picking up our return here. These are return loops. This is a bypass. I guess if you want to make this a primary loop, but if you're making that a primary loop, you want to keep it the same size pipe, not size down to 3/4 inch. Yeah, so 1.25 inch feeding our indirect supply and return. This circulator should be the first one if you're going to nitpick, and I don't want to nitpick, but this zone right here, that one, and that return, those are dead end in the crawl space. They don't go anywhere, just cut, and they don't go anywhere. So I'm assuming it was marked I floor, so maybe that's first floor. But now first floor has radiant, which is this. So we got a nice blue fin there.
temperature, pressure gauge, sorry. It's already filled with water because there's the water line right there and the condensation's above it. Taco 1/2-inch pressure reducing valve. Nice spiral vent though the installer's put in. Boiler's hot. Looks like we're probably circulating water to the indirect. Sure are. Okay. Our job is complete. You see? Those are the customer's boxes from Supply House. Real people, real service. Not a sponsor of the channel. Looking around the basement, I see this Uponor radiant manifold just sitting on the floor there, chilling. Looks like they took it out of the box and I don't know. Maybe they gave up and went with the Caleffi instead. Caleffi, far superior, in my opinion. But I like Uponor. I have multiple Uponor manifolds in the field installed, even in my own home. I have several. But I like the EP version, the enhanced polymer, whatever you want to call it. It's a nice manifold. Cheaper than stainless steel, of course, or brass, but it still does a purpose. So I wonder what that's about. And there's PEX on the floor here, of course, and more tanks and parts and I don't know. Hopefully it changes the anode rod in his Aqua Plus pewter indirect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 3:30. I have a service call to go on in Valley Stream. Let me tell you something. At this hour of the day, going from Lawrence to Valley Stream, which normally would take about 8 to 9 minutes in the early morning or evening, takes over 35 minutes. And it's only about 3 miles. And I guess I shouldn't complain. That's what I get for living in New York. And it is what it is, right? But it sucks because people have no idea how to drive. They don't. They have no idea how to drive. No! Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you need some baseboard replaced, if you give me a call, I'll help you out. 516-348-6300. My name is Mike Dyke. I'm a licensed master plumber, not only in certain jurisdictions in the state of New York, but the entire state of South Carolina. And as soon as the state of Florida gives me my license, I'll be licensed there too. I passed my exams there as well, which weren't easy. I think they were probably harder than New York. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Wouldn't be here without you.